our sisters like Angel
and AllyCat, where we highlight individuals making a difference in their community. Yes, back to you, Angel.
Yes, I'm Angel. I'm an actress, and I am Ally's sister. And I'm also a registered nurse. And today I'm so excited because we have Kuya Jared, which also has tons of dolls behind him. So I would love to hear more about his story and ask a lot about his expertise about the dolls. Ally?
Yes, and my name is AllyCat Castle. As you all know, I'm Angel's older sister by 3 years. And Angel, Jared, and I went to the same high school back in the Philippines, which is an all-boys school. And yes, we were boys then. Now we have transitioned into transgender women. And also, I'm a professional makeup artist for the media, and I have a YouTube channel, AllyCat Castle. And our very special guest for this evening is no other than Mr. Jared Mijares, whose YouTube channel is Life in Plastic, and he's a graduate of LaSalle Green Hills batch 2001. He was also a former Kundirana member, which is an all-boys singing group back in the Philippines in our high school. And his YouTube channel, again, is Life in Plastic, so no other than Jared!
Hey, everybody. Hi, I'm Jared Mijares. That was a nice long introduction, so I'm not sure what to add to that, other than I have my YouTube channel called Life in Plastic, which you mentioned. And I'm really having a great time and finding out just how much hard work it is to put out video after video, week after week. Oh my goodness, how do you do it? It's just amazing.
I know, right? Well, that's the reason why we're here, because we're going to be talking about everything. And you actually are, I love all your videos. Oh my God, guys. Really, after this segment, you definitely need to check out Life in Plastic by Jared. We're going to put out the link in the description box. It's amazing. It's basically my therapy for the week. But let's dive into things with Jared before we get to the dolls, because I'm so excited about the dolls. So first, tell us a little bit about your childhood and where you grew up.
Okay. Well, I was born in the Philippines, and I moved around a lot as a kid. So I've lived in different parts of the Philippines. Like I lived in Zamboanga City when I was in first and second grade. And then I lived in Batangas, and I went to De La Salle Lipa in Lipa City, Batangas in fifth and sixth grade. And then most of my life, I lived in Makati City, Philippines. So, I mean, most of my childhood, I should say. And then, of course, that's where I lived when I went to high school in LaSalle Green Hills in Mandaluyong. What about my childhood? Well, I can say that my childhood was devoid of dolls. And that's probably part of my obsession with dolls. That's kind of what sparked it, I think, is because I really wanted dolls as a kid, but I wasn't allowed to have them. I had action figures. Okay, and I think even as a kid, I was already a collector because I remember, and even my mom will tell you, that all my action figures were in their original packaging. You know, after I took them out, I put them back in, and then I would have them lined up in my bedroom on display for everyone to see.
Are those like
I was a
G.I.
collector
Joes?
even back then.
Are those like G.I. Joes, or what type of action figure?
No, I had a big Batman collection,
Uh-huh.
and I had Ninja Turtles.
Wow. Did you collect the women also? Like,
it's such a guy thing.
I know, right?
So
Now it's
anyway,
all about Barbie and Integrity toys.
right. So before we further go into dolls and collecting toys, I also know you as a very good singer. So what weighs in more? Is it you being a singer first and then dolls, or vice versa? Can you please tell us something about that?
I think they're pretty much on equal footing now. You know, I obviously, like you said, I love to sing, so I never would, give that up for anything. I still sing. I still love, well, lately I haven't been able to go out because of this pandemic, but when we were allowed to go out and do things, I would go to piano bars and sing with my friends. And I would sing at events. Of course, we don't have a lot of events to sing at these days. So, yes, I would say they're on equal footing, because obviously I'm never going to give up singing. But now I'm just so crazy about dolls. Dolls have pretty much taken over my life, as you can see. And I'm also never going to give up on dolls. So singing and dolls
Go hand in hand.
So you mentioned like when you were a kid that dolls, parang it's not allowed ba?
Yes, I was never allowed to play with dolls. I used to envy those little girls that were my friends in school who had dolls. Like I really wanted to play with their Barbies. I technically wasn't allowed to, but like when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, I used to sneak out and go to my friend's house and we would play with her Barbies. And then there would be no mention of that when I get home, of course, because I wasn't allowed to do that. So yeah, it was a big secret, kind of.
That's so cute, right? It's like really when you're passionate and when your heart is with something, you're gonna do everything, even if it's in secret. Yeah.
Yes.
We can actually relate to that a little bit. Like we used to give the code for dolls, like, are you gonna play Crystal? Because it's like Crystal Barbie.
I
Wow.
know.
Remember that, Ali?
Well, that was fun, and I remember one time, one Christmas actually, we were all gifted remote control cars, right? I think one of the remote control that was given to us did not work, so I said that we went to the department store with our yaya then, if she could help us switch it out to a doll. So we actually got a day to night Barbie too.
Wow, that's so
Yes,
cool.
so we sneaked it. Yeah, we sneaked it in. I mean, but that's really, you can really see that, a child's dream of something, that will be there forever until the person becomes an adult. Okay, so moving forward, when did you move to the United States?
Okay, so I moved to the US in 2003 with my family. My stepdad was a diplomat. He's retired now. But in 2003, my stepfather was assigned to the Philippine mission to the UN. And of course, the offices were in New York. So we all moved to New Jersey together so that my stepdad could work here. Eventually, my mom found work here, and then I went to college here, and I eventually found work here. So I've been here since
Wow.
2003.
So that's great. So since you moved here, when was the first time again that you actually delved into, having a doll? When was that moment?
My first encounter with like a doll here in the US.
Yeah, like you bought, and did you tell your mom about it, or did you hide it first?
Did you own a doll before coming to the United States, or that kind of was
No, that was like
gone for a little
that
bit?
was gone for a while.
So when did
that
it
was
start
in
back?
my childhood? I was just playing with friends' dolls as a kid, and I had action figures, and that was it. But then, after a while, I also gave like my toys away to my cousins when I grew up. But then in 2011,
Wow.
okay, I was already in my 20s at the time. I saw a news segment on television about a Barbie doll called the Tokidoki Barbie doll. This was the original Tokidoki, not the anniversary one, which I gifted to Ally some time ago. So the original Tokidoki Barbie had tattoos, so she was kind of controversial. So they did a news segment about Tokidoki Barbie on TV, and I saw it, and I thought, oh my God, this is so cute. Let me just, go online and see if I can find one. And my gosh, the thing was like $250.
Wow.
Okay. The original retail price was $50, but because she was controversial and she was on the news, like a lot of scalpers jumped into the situation, and it didn't help. So yeah, she was going for like $250 on eBay, and I was like, oh my God, I can't afford this. But then I went to Target and I found a Barbie Basics Ken doll. And that was actually my first doll that I owned as an adult.
Wow.
Well, and ever, I guess, as an adult and as a kid.
So I'm just curious, why Ken, not Barbie right away?
Well, I just thought he was really cute. This was a really good looking Ken. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about this, but that's actually a really good question. Like, why not Barbie and why Ken? I guess I felt more comfortable getting a male doll as opposed to a female doll for my first doll. But I got over that pretty quickly because soon after that I started buying Barbie as well, and then the whole situation just
So this is a stupid question.
snowballed from there.
Because when we had a Ken back home, we also got a Ken for our Barbie doll then. Was your Ken, because the Ken that we had the cement hair. Did yours have the built-in
molded
like
hair?
plastic hair, molded hair, or did you have the one with the real hair?
The one that I got had rooted hair, so he's nice.
That's
It
awesome.
doesn't have the molded plastic hair.
Okay, so that started. Okay, so you actually got your first Ken. Then, when did the second time, or what was the follow through after that? Like, what was your inkling? Like, you were like, okay, so you got this Ken doll, so you got your taste of like having a doll. So what's the second thing after that? How long did you wait until you get your second doll?
I don't remember exactly, but it was not very long. Basically, what happened was I found the Barbie website. There's a Barbie collector website. And so I figured out, okay, they make all of these dolls for adult collectors. And it just blew my mind, So yeah, not long after I got the Ken, I started buying the Barbie Basics dolls. There was a line called Barbie Basics. The designer is fabulous. His name is Bill Greening. I love Bill Greening so much. He designed this whole line called the Barbie Basics collection. And it's the first series of Barbie Basics were these dolls in little black dresses, LBDs. And it was so simple, so chic, so elegant. I had to have them. I had to have them.
You collect the whole collection?
Yes, I ended up getting the entire collection. I think there were like 14 of them or something in that collection.
So I'm curious. Okay, sorry.
I got them slowly though. Like I just got the last one probably in the last year on eBay because it was very difficult to find one particular doll in the collection in the series.
Is it like a competition between other collectors in terms of buying those rare items for the collection?
For sure, when there are rare items, it's like a competition. It's like, okay, who can get to this doll first? Like, for example, not that long ago, there was a Met Gala Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
The Met costume gala, and then I think was it last year or no? 2 years ago, somebody went dressed as Barbie to the Met Gala, and then there was a Barbie doll with the same outfit that was released. It was exclusively sold by the Met, and they only made something like 500 pieces, which is very limited for Barbie. To have a production number as low as 500. And not many people knew about it right away. So I was lucky enough to be able to get one. But as soon as people figured out, okay, they're selling this only at the Met website, it was gone.
Wow.
Okay. Gone.
So I have a question also. When you started collecting these dolls and started to accumulate them or have a collection, I just want to ask, were you with someone then? Or were you still, with your mom or so? Were you in a relationship? Are you single?
Well, currently I'm married, right?
Okay. Yes.
Right. Like I have to ask you.
But to
Um,
our viewers, so.
okay,
Just a
yes, I'm
follow-up
married.
question.
I've been
That's why I
married
asked that question.
for 6 years. And when I started collecting in 2011, I was in a relationship with my husband to be. So, yes, I was in a relationship when I started collecting dolls. And yes, he probably thought it was weird that, his grown ass boyfriend just, suddenly wants to have all of these dolls. But I think eventually he got around to it and he realized, okay, this is like his passion. Um, so he's been very supportive ever since.
Oh, I
He
love
buys me
that.
dolls. He goes to Barbie conventions with me.
Oh,
Okay,
that must be love.
it
Like
is
he
love.
turned
He's
around
so
for.
supportive. I mean, I love the relationship that we have, particularly when it comes to the doll collecting aspect of it, because he's been so supportive of my hobby. Yeah.
That's nice. See, supportive of hobby and a very supportive hobby. Look at that, two in one. Okay, so
Yes, a great
what?
hubby.
One, I just have a quick question. As again, is the reason why you started collecting dolls now was because you weren't allowed to have dolls when you were a kid? Was that?
I think that has a lot to do with it, with the obsession that I have with dolls right now. But I think the reason that I started collecting was really just because I saw this thing and I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. I would love to be able to hold it, to touch it, to play with it. It's just, a thing of beauty. And I mean, you understand, you love beautiful things as well. So, when you see something beautiful, you just, it's in our nature to want to have these things.
I know it's not easy, it's hard to have eyes and it's hard to look on your phone. But anyway, speaking of technology and speaking of our phones, so
Yes.
why did you start your YouTube channel? So what is can you please tell us a story about that?
Okay. So, um, I have been watching other doll YouTubers for years now. And I have been a fan of people like this guy. His name is Suresh, and he does these doll reviews, and he's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot about fashion. He studied fashion, and when I see people like him and other doll YouTubers, it just I find it so inspiring, and I decided, what, I want to have a deeper connection with the doll community just like these people have. So I figured that a YouTube channel would be a great avenue to connect with other doll collectors more deeply, to share my passion, to share my knowledge, and also to be able to interact with all these other people online.
And if I may add, just so all of you know, because I have a very good relationship with Jared as well as Mike, his husband. Jared, since way back in the Philippines where we were in school, he was in the honor section. He was always like an honor student. He's very smart, very artistic. He had it all. So just so you know, once you watch his YouTube channel, Life in Plastic, he tells you everything in detail from the history, from like the number of dolls that were made, what kind of doll it is. So tell us, Jared, what makes your channel, Life in Plastic, unique compared to other Barbie YouTube channels out there?
Well, I think it's definitely unique in terms of it being coming from my perspective. You know, I as a collector have my own tastes when it comes to dolls. Like there are some collectors who have different tastes in dolls, and I enjoy watching their channels. But like, I would never like buy the dolls that they buy, for instance. So it's unique because it comes, right from it's from here. It's coming from.
So in short, the
Uh,
dolls that you have is more beautiful.
Ah, maybe they are. But, I mean, I appreciate what other people do with their collections. It's just that, I have my tastes and they have theirs, and they don't always coincide.
Very
And
diplomatic answer.
I'm Miss Universe. But anyway, but if there's like one thing why people should go to your channel, what's special about Life is Plastic of Jared? Like,
What is special about Life in Plastic? Well, I definitely put a lot of work into my videos. I try to, as you mentioned, I try to give as in-depth a review as I possibly can give, from the history of the doll, or if it's a licensed product, like what the company is about, things like that. So I try to go as in-depth as I possibly can, like even down to, okay, what are the points of articulation on this doll? Like, is this something that it would be fun to photograph or to play with or to redress, things like that. So definitely I try to impart as much knowledge as I can in my videos. Knowledge about the doll, knowledge about the history, and just, everything coming from my unique perspective.
That's
right.
sounds so exciting. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm trying to hear right now is, first of all, you have your taste in dolls. So you choose the best looking dolls, at least in your preference. And then you also own some of the rare collectible dolls. And those are things that you also feature there. And then you add a lot of trivia about why you should collect that doll and why it makes that doll become so special.
Yes, I talk about, who designed this doll, what was the inspiration behind the doll, if we know about it. I talk about, everything down to, okay, let's look at the clothes, and like, does it have a working zipper? Does it have closures that are Velcro, or are they snaps? It's just down to those little details.
Wow, that's so exciting.
I just want to say there's not one episode that I missed. That's how much I love Jared's show. Like,
you have
once
been so supportive. Thank you so much.
I'm really, because I work so much, but once I start watching his channel, it puts me back into, I feel like I'm in like a Barbie Disneyland. That's how much it is to me. I feel like I'm in a museum and I have my personal tour guide in the museum telling me about these beautiful dolls. Like, as you can see behind Jared, that's his museum of dolls, and that's not everything. There's more behind those dolls. Okay. So,
Yeah,
question, Jared, is your channel good? Targeted for adults or kids or for everyone? Is there a particular audience that you have?
Okay, so here's the thing. YouTube has these guidelines for creators now. You have to follow certain guidelines. If your channel is something that is likely to be watched by young people as well as older people, my channel is really for adult collectors. That's who I want watching my videos. But of course, I know since my videos are about dolls, inevitably there are going to be younger people watching, which is why I try to watch my language, and I try to just present everything in a way that everyone can appreciate what I'm talking about. But yeah, my channel is really intended for adults.
So just a quick question. If your channel in YouTube is for adults and kids who want to see your collection, is your Instagram most likely okay for kids because it's limited to things that we can show anyway? Or what's your take on that?
It's definitely kid-friendly in terms of, everyone can look at it. There's nothing there. I know some collectors like to take like photos that could be deemed risque. But yeah, I don't do that, at least not anymore. When I was very, very new to collecting, I took some of those kinds of photos, and then I thought, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Like, why am I doing this? And I just stopped doing that completely. But there are some collectors who take some very risque photos of their dolls. And yeah, we just don't do that because we know kids are also looking.
I know. Oh. So another question. What advice do you have for people who want to start a hobby? Whether that be dolls, because I've never met a passion as a passion. I've never met a person as passionate as you in terms of having a hobby. Like you're so consistent to it. You get what I mean? When I talk to you, I don't feel bad buying the things that I buy, which you usually know. So you get what I mean? So can you please give us some advice for people who have a certain hobby?
Okay, well, I know about collecting as a hobby. So that's what I'm going to talk about. In the doll community, we have a saying that goes, buy what you love. Okay, buy what you love. Do not buy things because you consider it like an investment. For instance, some people will buy things because they think, oh, this is going to appreciate in value over time. Well, for dolls and many other collectibles, that's not really the case. For many collectibles, they tend to depreciate in value over time. For most of the things, like comic books, dolls, as I said. So buy what you love. That way you're going to love what you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So just so you know, everything that I bought lately, I love.
So
Yeah,
for
of
somebody who
course.
wants to start a collection, I guess you probably answered it already, or your the quote that you just said applies to it. Like, how would they start? Like, what do you think would their first doll be? Like, is that something very important to make a decision off the bat at the beginning?
I don't think it's that important to pick like, oh, you have to have the perfect first doll. Like for instance, my first doll was a basics doll, which was very simple. It was just a Ken doll wearing jeans and a t-shirt. But now I have dolls in like really elaborate gowns, and I don't think it's going to determine what you're going to end up collecting.
Mhm.
Um, so it's not so important to be selective about your first doll or whatever it is that you're going to start collecting. I think you just have to jump into it. You just have to get into it, get your feet wet. Put your toes in the pool. Just go for it. Whatever it is, just go for it.
I want to talk about accessories on top of the dolls because I remember when we visited you there, like seeing those dolls, you have this special table that has like the flyers and all of these other things that you can manipulate to kind of add to the collection, or maybe playing with the dolls or like beautifying them. What would a starter kit of that be, or what else on top of that would you suggest as part of the collection?
Hmm. Well, um, because I collect dolls, I have a lot of miniatures. So if you want to start collecting miniatures for your dolls, I would start looking on sites like Etsy, for instance, where you can find some affordable doll furniture in 1/6 scale, play scale, they call it. Um, I mean, it really doesn't matter what accessories you start with. You, like I said, you just have to buy what you love. Like if you like a piece of furniture, a piece of doll furniture, then go for it. Go for that, dining set or whatever it is. I think what you were talking about were the closets, the wardrobes.
Uh,
Um,
um, yeah, it's on that table on the
on
corner.
the table, yeah, I have wardrobes. They're those are not really available anymore except on the secondary market. I wish Mattel would produce more of those kinds of accessories, but they rarely do. I don't know why. Maybe because they don't sell as well as the dolls themselves. So I would just say, buy what you love. Like, get whatever is singing to you.
And then
So I have a question also. I have a follow-up question. Um, so in terms of, because we're talking about, of course, like being like collectors, right, and having a collection. So for those people who would like to start, right, collecting, what would you advise them in terms of like budgeting, or in terms of like, you know, the spending power,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
yeah, in terms of like buying or collecting?
Yeah, I mean,
What
if
should
you're
they do? For
when
those
you're
who don't
starting
know
out,
when to, yeah, for those who are starting out, like what's like a good gauge, or what? Like what advice do you have?
okay, well, for those who are starting out, it's very easy to get caught up in the excitement of it. Like I've seen people post online that, oh, they just, oh my gosh, I got into collecting Barbie and I just ordered like $50 from Amazon the other day. And I, I'm not even exaggerating. Like there are people who discover this whole thing and they just go crazy. Okay. My advice would be always do it within your means. I don't have a specific budget in mind for people who are just starting out, because I don't know like how much a specific person is making. Um, so I can't say, oh, spend $500 on dolls. I don't know if you can spend $500 a month on dolls. Um, but what I can say is definitely do it within your means. Like, um, make it a certain percentage of your income that you would be comfortable parting with every month, without uh, taking away from your necessities, right? Your basic necessities.
I want to
I
talk about
love that.
maintenance of the dolls because I see your dolls behind you that they're on cabinets on like it looks like clear glass cabinets, right?
Mhm.
Or like shelves. So what how do you maintain the dolls? Is it like humidified or just the cabinet so that it doesn't get dusty? Do you have to clean it with a special solution before like when you play with it and then put it back in?
Mhm.
What special things do you have to do to take care of the dolls to make it like to keep the beauty, I guess? And
Well, first of all, I keep my collection in the basement because there are no big temperature swings in the basement. We have to remember that these dolls are made out of a kind of vinyl, so they cannot be subjected to wild temperature swings, or the plastic is going to degrade.
mm,
So that's for starters. I keep them in the basement where the temperature is constant, and then relatively cool. And then, as you pointed out, I have these glass cabinets to keep them from getting dusty. Um, However, there's still a little bit of dust that gets in there. So when I do need to clean them, I just use a damp rag, um,
like tap
and
water,
with some water. Yeah,
like tap.
just water. That'll take care of the dust. Um, what else do I do for maintenance? That's pretty much it. Just keep everything stored. That everything that is not on display in a cabinet, just keep it stored in a cool, dry place, where it's not going to get infested with like molds or anything like that. Nothing too humid, not too much moisture. Yeah.
This is a weird question that I'm going to ask now.
Hmm.
Because when I treasure stuff like certain collections, I I really value them. Do you ever talk to your dolls sometimes?
Um, I very, very rarely say anything to my dolls, because they don't talk back. So I just don't do it. Yeah, that's just me. I don't do it. So
Okay, that's
So my
perfect.
alarm already went off a
that
little.
is a weird question, though. Yeah.
And
Do you talk to your stuff, Ali? That's why you asked that
I don't.
question.
No, I don't talk
Ali.
to. I don't talk to my stuff. I don't talk to the things that I have. But in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear today? I'm gonna wear you because you're so pretty. It's like that. That's it. But I don't talk to them like as if, how are you guys doing? No, not like that. But
I
it's just
know
like, you know
guys
what?
who like name their cars, you know, so it's not that weird, I think.
It's
But
not that weird, yeah.
it was a cute question. So the alarm already went off earlier, so we should be like on our last few questions. Do you have Ali, or do you want me to go first?
Maybe ask first your one last, and then I'm gonna ask my one last before our 3 tips from Jared.
So my question is, because when we visited there, you did ask us like which Barbie resonates more with us. So I'm gonna put the question back on you. Since you have your collection at the back, it'll be nice to see. Okay, so it's less pressure and para hindi so the other dolls don't get jealous. Maybe
Okay.
pick one special one that resonates to you a lot, and I don't know if you can show it to us and maybe say why.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna go grab one. All
Okay.
right.
See, guys, this is so exciting. It's like really, it's Jared's collection of doll. Again,
You
his
see a
YouTube
Wonder
channel,
Woman there. I
Life
love
in
it.
Plastic. I've been there several times to his house, played with his dolls. I've seen everything. It's amazing, really.
Okay.
Okay, he's back.
I
I'm
love the
back.
hair.
So here's the doll that I picked. I don't know if you can see her.
She's so pretty. I love her hair and her outfit.
She is a one of a kind doll. She's hand painted. So she was a charity auction doll that I won in 2015. She's called Chiffon Blouse, after the chiffon blouse that she's wearing. And as you can see, she is a light-skinned black girl with big curly hair. And I think she resonates so much with me because she's clearly mixed race, just like myself. You know, you can see, okay, she's got blonde hair and freckles, but she's clearly a black girl. She has the black features. So yeah, I think, you know, she just resonates with me because she's like clearly mixed race, just like I am. And she's just so pretty.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's I don't know how I'm gonna follow up with that question. But yeah, but then again, okay, so my last question. Because I really, really love your YouTube channel, Life in Plastic. Like, you know, I love dolls, but I love dolls even more after watching you because I feel like I learned so much about Mattel and about Barbie specifically. Um, for those people who would like to start a YouTube channel, why should they start one?
Why should they start one? Wow. Well, I think you should start a YouTube channel only if you're prepared to really put in the hard work. Because I'm discovering that it really is a lot of work. Like coming up with, you know, concepts for a new video and then executing those concepts, it's really a lot of work. So why should you start a YouTube channel? You should only start a YouTube channel if you have a clear purpose. You know, if there is a particular group that you want to reach, if there's a specific audience that you want to reach and that you want to help out in some way, if you want to impart, you know, knowledge or whatever it is, then that is when you should start a YouTube channel. That is why you should start a YouTube channel.
Aww.
Oh, that's a very nice answer. Well, I just want you to know, Jared, that you're so special to me. And you're even more special because you are also my YouTube family. So I feel like he's that one person that I can talk to who understands me now.
Likewise.
I have my selfish reasons, you know. So
Yes, I mean, you have been like my #1 supporter on YouTube since before day one, right? Since before I even posted my first video, you've always been like, go, 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 just do it. And actually, you're one of the reasons that I actually ended up doing it, because I saw how you were putting yourself out there, and I just thought, wow, that is so amazing. I would love to do that as well. So yes, you inspired me.
well, we inspire, you know, like everyone, those people around us. And that's one thing that I like about our channels, you know, like Life in Plastic, sisters like Angel and Ally, AllyCat Castle, to all the people that we know, of course. It's like, it's really like, that's true. Purpose, mission, value, and what's in it for your viewers, for them to watch you.
Yes, you
Oh
have to
my
have the
gosh.
value proposition. Exactly.
Right? Oh my God, what a deep conversation, from dolls to like mission to purpose to value. Anyway, on the lighter note, can you please invite them to your YouTube channel, Life in Plastic?
Yes, everyone. So again, my name is Jared. I collect dolls. I'm obsessed with dolls, and I love sharing my dolls with everyone. So please check out my channel, Life in Plastic. It is all about dolls and doll-related things. If you like dolls, if you just happen to want to look at dolls, I have a lot of them to show you. Every video features a different doll. So yeah, check out Life in Plastic, please.
Yeah, and I'll
And what's
add
your
that.
Instagram as well? Can you please
Oh
tell them your
yes,
Instagram too?
let's not forget my Instagram, which is also called Life in Plastic. It's at Life in Plastic blog on Instagram. So at Life in Plastic
And I'll
blog.
add all of those descriptions below. But before we end this, we ask all of um uh, our our guests for 3 quick tips for beauty, health, and self-care.
Okay. For beauty, I would say moisturize. Always moisturize every night before going to bed. This is something that my mother taught me. She taught me to moisturize even before I hit the age of 30, because it's so important to keep your skin hydrated so that you stay looking young as long as you possibly can, right? For self-care, I would say take the time to enjoy the simple things. Like for me, it's, you know, spending time down here in the basement admiring my dolls. Take the time for yourself to relax, enjoy the simple things. And for health, I would say get enough sleep. Make sure that you get enough sleep, you get enough rest, because it is so bad for you to not get enough sleep. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and we can all be as beautiful as all the Kens and dolls that you
And Barbies.
have. Ali, do you have any last words?
Well, I also just want to promote, and we're going to put it also in the description box below. I also had an episode of Barbie, which are the brushes that was given to me by Jared. So we're going to put that
Oh,
episode right
yay.
there. So, because I just want you to know, guys, more than anything, Jared and his YouTube channel is Life in Plastic is a very, very, very good person. More than anything, the reason why I actually asked him to be here in our show, Sisters Like Angel and Ally, he has a big heart. You know, his husband, Mike, you know, Mike, thank you, we love you. His mom, Tita Debbie, you know, his stepdad, you know, everyone in their church as well. I've been there several times. They're very nice people. And I really just want to celebrate him, not just because of his YouTube channel, but more so because he's an amazing man. He's an amazing person. He's just an amazing human being inside and out.
Oh, thank you so much.
Aw.
Thank you, Angel, and thank you,
Jared,
Ali.
I did feel that when I visited there. It was nice to meet your husband. It was nice to meet your collection. I feel the passion and the energy and all the beautiful things you have there surrounding you and learning. I love hearing a lot more about the beautiful family and people that you have also surrounding you. And thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and all those beautiful things that you have and inspiring me and everyone else. Thank you. And thank you also for guesting, of course, in Sisters Like Angel and Ally.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I had so
And
much.
one last. It's the holiday
Okay.
season. What's your holiday message to everyone?
My holiday message to everyone is to spread joy, kindness, and positivity always, because we could always use more joy, kindness, and positivity in this world, especially with everything that's going on. This crazy pandemic that we're in. We could all use a little bit of positivity and joy.
Yep, 2020 is almost over. It's already December, so happy holidays to everybody.
Holidays.
And thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Keep watching. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. If you want a specific topic that we want to discuss, please leave it there. We're going to answer it for you. Again, thank you very much. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Ali. And happy December, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays! Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Happy
Happy Barbie!
Happy New Year.